I think these are genuinely one of the best open-ear earbuds I've ever tried. But I also think a lot of people are going to buy them for completely the wrong reasons and then be massively disappointed. So if you're thinking about the Shokz OpenFit Pro, you really need to understand what they're good at, what they're not good at, and where they actually make sense in real life because they're brilliant, but just not for everyone. So these are the Shokz OpenFit Pro, and I've been using them solidly for the last 3 days in pretty much every situation that I could think of. At home, at my desk, walking the dogs, commuting, cycling, phone calls, music, podcasts, audiobooks, YouTube, films, on the iPad, all of it. I really wanted to understand where these work and where they fall apart because open ear audio has always been a bit of a compromise for me. And just to be really clear up front, I bought these with my own money. We're not sponsored, we're not paid, we're not affiliated, and we don't make any money from this channel. So this is just a proper, honest user experience review, the same way I'd explain it to a friend if they asked me whether they should buy them or not. So why was I interested in the OpenFit Pro in the first place? I'll be honest, I didn't need these at all. My AirPods Pro 3 are my go-to earbuds, and in my opinion, they're pretty much perfect. Sound quality, noise cancellation, call quality, the Apple ecosystem integration, they do everything I want an earbud to do. But I kept seeing the OpenFit Pro everywhere, YouTube reviews, ads on social media, and what really caught my attention was the design and the claim that Shokz had massively improved sound quality and noise reduction compared to their older open ear stuff. Because my experience with open ear and bone conduction headphones in the past has not been great. The sound was always thin, bass was basically non-existent, call quality wasn't great, and as soon as you were in a noisy environment, they were completely useless. So I was skeptical, but also curious. And if I'm honest, I've clearly got a problem when it comes to buying earbuds. So here we are. So first impressions and build quality straight out of the box. The first thing that surprised me was the build quality. The case is bigger than an AirPods Pro case, but it's slim, it's flat, it feels really premium in the hand, and the lid has that soft closed feel that just makes it feel so well made. The earbuds themselves look absolutely beautiful. I went for the white rather than the black, and they're lightweight, understated, and don't stick out in a ridiculous way when you're wearing them. That was actually really important to me because I don't like walking around looking like I've got massive bits of tech hanging off my head. When I put them on for the first time, they just sort of wrapped around my ear without putting pressure anywhere. I've used other ear hook style earbuds before, and you usually feel some pressure where your ear meets your head. But with these, the silicone is soft enough that you just don't get that. Comfort is where these really shine because nothing goes in your ear canal. You avoid all the usual problems you get with in-ear buds. With AirPods Pro, as good as they are, after long sessions, your ears can get sore, you can get fatigue, and sometimes you just need a break from them. With these, that just doesn't happen. I've worn them for hours on end without ever thinking about them, and honestly, they're probably the most comfortable earbuds I've ever used. There is a bit of an adjustment period though. At first, hearing your music clearly while also hearing the world around you feels a bit strange. especially if you're used to having noise cancellation on all the time like I am. But after a day or two, your brain adjusts, and by day 3, it just felt completely normal. Around the house especially, I actually prefer these to my AirPods. In terms of fit and stability, they are rock solid. Walking, cycling, bending down, moving around, these things aren't going anywhere. The ear hook design really works. However, there is one thing I really want to point out because I don't see anyone else mentioning it in their reviews. I don't have a tragus, that little bit of cartilage some people have, that helps seat earbuds closer to the ear canal. Because of that, the OpenFit Pro sit slightly further away from my ear canal than they do on most people. And I noticed that if I gently push them a few millimeters closer, the sound quality improves quite noticeably. So, if you're someone who struggles with earbuds fitting properly because of ear shape, just be aware that you might not get absolutely everything that these can offer. It's not a deal breaker, but it is something that you should know. So on to sound quality, and this is where these really surprised me. The sound quality is genuinely very, very good. Not good for open ear, just good full stop. The soundstage is wide and open, and with Dolby Atmos and head tracking turned on, music feels more like listening to a live performance than something being fired straight into your ears. The bass, which is usually the weak point with open ear designs, is surprisingly deep and controlled. No tinny rattling, no hollow sound. In quieter environments, these sound fantastic. I was listening to Wolf Alice's latest album, The Clearing, and I actually heard certain tracks in a way I hadn't before. It's a different way of experiencing music, more open, more spacious, and in the right environment, it's really, really engaging. I had some really emotional moments with certain tracks that I just hadn't heard in that way before, and they just triggered memories and emotions that got me a little bit teary-eyed. For music and podcasts in quiet or moderately noisy environments, these are excellent. I've got noise reduction on its default setting, it's about halfway through the needle, Dolby Atmos and head tracking on, and a custom EQ dialed in, and that combination works really, really well. For phone calls, people sounded clear to me, and the people that I called didn't complain, which says a lot, especially as the first person that I called is one of my best friends who always moans if call quality is bad. Okay, so that was handy because I needed to speak to the bus driver, and even though the music's literally going around my head, I could still hear myself and hear him as well. So, you know, kind of pros and cons of these at the moment. It's still early in the day, so let's see how we get on. And this is an impromptu microphone test, so let me know how it sounds. Hey everyone, so you can see I'm wearing the Shokz OpenFit Pro. I just wanted to do a quick mic test, and it's quite quiet because I'm just in the local neighbourhood. This is my second day with them. I've not found them possible to really use for calls and stuff on the tubes here in London because the trains do get quite noisy. But yeah, let me know what you think of the quality of the mics on this recording. There's no wind, but yeah, hopefully I'm coming through reasonably clear. The nice thing is that I'm talking, but I can still kind of hear what's going on around me, and I've got the dogs with me, so I can also hear what they're up to as well. But yeah, while I'm here, they're very comfortable. I mean, you don't really feel them that much, and you don't get that soreness that you get with the Beats Fit Pro over ears, whatever the hell they're called. Yeah, these are nice and lightweight, which is really, really nice, and you don't feel them pressing in the ear either, which is really good. And from the front, they're not sticking out or anything. They actually look quite neat. I'm not sure what they look like on the side, but yeah, I haven't really had an issue with these so far. We will get into the pros and cons on the video, obviously, because there are pros and there are cons, and we always want to give you a proper user review. So yeah, I'll hand you back over to future me in the video to take over. But you are more aware of background noise compared to something like AirPods Pro because you're not sealed off from the world in quite the same way. Now onto the big limitation, commuting, and this is the bit where expectations really matter. Here in London on the underground, these are basically useless. And that's not me being dramatic, that's just the reality of open ear audio. Noise reduction is not noise cancellation. So once you're underground, the train noise completely overwhelms them. You can't hear podcasts properly, music loses all its impact, and it just becomes really, really frustrating. I was thankful that I always carry my AirPods with me, so I was able to switch over to them on my train journey. If you commute in a noisy environment and you're thinking about these as your main earbuds, don't, because you will be disappointed. Now, in terms of how these may fit into my life, they definitely will not replace my AirPods Pro 3 at all, but they will complement them. I'll use my AirPods when I want to completely lock in, when I'm commuting, and when I'm on important phone calls, or when I just don't want to be distracted. The OpenFit Pro are what I'm going to use around the house, in the office when people might need to talk to me, walking the dogs, running, cycling, and in any situation where comfort and awareness actually matter. And for those things, they're absolutely brilliant. Now let's talk about the battery, the case, and daily use. Battery life has been a complete non-issue. 3 days of heavy use straight out of the box, and I haven't charged them once. The case is great. It's slim enough to slip into a pocket easily. It has USB-C charging, and the physical buttons on the earbuds are tactile and easy to find. There's no Siri activation if you're on an iPhone, which is a bit annoying, but it's not a deal breaker. I tend to use my phone to control my earbuds anyway. In terms of value, at £219 here in the UK, $249 in the US, I think these are fairly priced for what they offer. Not cheap, but justified. These are brilliant earbuds if you understand what they're designed for. They're not an all-purpose solution, and they're not trying to be. I'm keeping them, and I will use them a lot, but they'll never replace my AirPods, and that's absolutely fine. If this was helpful, please subscribe. We try to do these reviews properly from a real user point of view, not just reading spec sheets and pretending everything is perfect. Drop any questions that you've got in the comments. We do reply to every single one, especially if you're on the fence and if you've tried these yourself. I'd love to know what your experience has been. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.